Hey YouTube, it's Eamon coming at you again with another video. This is my first video on actual trans issues. This one's going to be about trans terminology because I feel like it's something that confuses a lot of people, and it's really important just in understanding yourself and the world around you. I want to start out with a great website where you can go to get all kinds of different trans terminology. It's called transequality.org. If you find any other great websites, wonderful, please put them in a little description and a little post below. That way we can all find out about them. So first, I want to talk about gender identity. It's just what it sounds like. It's how you identify your own gender, whether you're male, female, in between, or neither. Most people identify as cis, although they don't know it. Being cis means that your gender identity and how you think about your gender matches your body and the gender that you were assigned at birth. If you are not cis, then you most likely fall under this category, which is trans, and that has a little star on top of it because that can include all the different types of trans identifying words that you could use, and I'll go on to explain that in a minute. First, I want to distinguish between two things that most people usually get mixed up, but there is a difference. Being a cross-dresser means that you dress as the opposite sex in private, and that this is just something that you do for yourself. Being a transvestite basically means the same thing, almost, but the difference is a transvestite specifically cross-dresses for the purposes of some kind of sexual pleasure. And a lot of people, look down on that and they think that that's gross. But it's how they are expressing their sexuality. It's how they're expressing their sexual needs. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, come on. If you've been on the internet and you've been, in a sex shop and you've looked at half the stuff that's in there, being a transvestite is not weird at all in comparison to all the other stuff that's out there. I mean, there are people that dress up in cat costumes. So if you can dress up as a cat and you think that that's perfectly okay for you to do, then somebody else can dress up as the opposite sex. And there's nothing wrong with that. Feel free to be yourself. Don't let other people put you down. And don't put other people down, because you wouldn't like it if they did that to you. The next, I guess, kind of, if we're going in stepping stones, the next kind of thing that you could be is transgender. Now, transgender means that you dress as the opposite sex, and you do this in public. You identify as the opposite sex. So if you were born a woman, you identify yourself as a man, and you tell people this, and you start doing things like changing how you're perceived in public and what people call you in public, changing your name, changing your pronouns, things like that. That would be a transgendered person. Now the next kind of stepping stone, so to speak, is a transsexual. Now, in order to be considered a transsexual, you have to have gone through one of these: SRS or GRS, which stands for sexual reassignment surgery or gender reassignment surgery. It's basically the same thing, but some people call it different. It's kind of like tomato. Basically, if you go through that surgery, that means that you have changed your body to actually be the body of the opposite sex, the sex that you want to be. So that would make you a transsexual once you already have that surgery. Now, I want to be really clear that being a transsexual is in no way the final goal for a trans person. For some people it is, obviously, because that's what they want to do, but not everybody wants to be a transsexual. Just because you're a crossdresser, a transvestite, or a transgender does not necessarily mean that you want to be a transsexual, and that's fine. Not everybody feels the need to actually physically change their body. Not everybody feels the need to go through the hassle to change their identity on their birth certificate, driver's license, social security, all of that. It's a big hassle. So don't ever look down on someone and say, oh, well, you're not a true trans because you don't want to be a transsexual or because you're not a transsexual. That's a really rude, really ignorant statement to make. Everybody's journey is different. Everybody's goal is different. Everybody wants to be different, and that's fine. And going along with that, there is also a big thing that I want to let you guys know about. This is something that's really confusing for a lot of people, and it can be really frustrating to have to explain over and over and over again. So if you're gonna know about trans, then you've got to know about this. Being FTM is being female to male trans, and that would make you a trans man. Yes, a trans man. Whatever you end up as is what you put trans in front of, and that's what you are. So if you're born female and you become male, or you transition to be a man, then you are a trans man. So along with that, MTF is male to female. That would be a trans woman. Then I also want to throw out there that some people consider themselves gender queer, so they consider themselves a mixture of genders, and some people don't want any label. Some people just say, hey, I don't want a label on my gender. That's fine as well. So I hope this explains a lot for you guys. I hope this clears up a lot for you. Again, if you know of any other sites that are helpful or any other terms that you feel like I grievously overlooked, put them in the description below. Like, subscribe, have a happy holidays. See you later.